Welcome to the PFS podcast with Evan, Drew, Matt, and Pat.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the PFS podcast, Week 14 recap edition. My name is Evan.
We got Andrew Minnis, Laurel native, Patrick, and Matt all ready to get fired up today. Go through the recap.
We're coming at you 3 a.m. on Tuesday. I guess Wednesday morning now.
And we are your PFS team. We are excited for our show today. We got a lot of good things in store, so why don't we just zoom right into everyone's favorite segment, changing up the name, Evan's 2-minute drill. Okay, here we go. Lions, Cowboys, Thursday night. Lions win 44-30. Good game by the Lions offense. Cowboys defense is trash. Seahawks, Falcons, it was a tale of two halves. It was tied at halftime. Seahawks scored 31 in the second half. 37-9 Seahawks. Bills, Bengals, probably the game of the week. 39-34. Burrow had 2 interceptions in the last 5 minutes to sell the game there. And we had Titans, Browns. Sneaky good game there. Cam Ward gets his second win of his career. Tony Pollard had himself a game. But I think the story was Shadur having a great game right there. I'm not wearing a watch. We had the Vikings blowing out the Commanders in an embarrassing game for the Commanders there. 31-0 to 9. Dolphins 34, Jets 10. Tyrod got hurt and that game was over. The Saints beat the Bucks. The Bucks have been straggling recently. They need to figure some stuff out or they're going to lose hold of this division to the Panthers real quick. The Jaguars beat the Colts and what everybody will be remembering is the game that brought Phillip Rivers out of retirement. 36-19. Daniel Jones is out with an Achilles for the rest of the season. Steelers beat their rivals 27-22. Very questionable call at the end of that game for the Ravens, but a win's a win. Broncos beat the Raiders 24-17. There's nothing really important about that game. The Broncos had it handled the whole time. Packers beat the Bears 28-21. Big win for the Packers there. They now have a hold of the division. They play one more time though, so we'll see what happens there. Rams 45, Cardinals 17. Rams put on a showing there. And they they won. Texans beat the Chiefs 20-10. I think the Chiefs are almost out of it. I know Matt might think a little differently, but we'll see about that. And then the Chargers beat the Eagles 22-19 in overtime on Monday. Even though the Chargers have no O-line, they still got it done against the former Super Bowl champions. And that was Evan's probably 3-minute drill.
Told you guys the Eagles sucked.
Took a couple timeouts.
Yeah, you got some timeouts in there. It's good. One out of bounds a player too.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. So, what do you guys think of these games? Any notable things we want to talk about before we get into the show?
I have a couple. We'll make it quick. Start off. I do want to say something crazy did happen in that Broncos-Raiders game because delay a game call at the end of the game for any bettors out there got the Raiders a field goal that cashed the over and their spread. A little questionable calling a delay of game as the clock was winding down. The game would have ended before they got to the line of scrimmage. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what the NFL's doing. I think some tomfoolery.
Did you have that over?
And anyone who had those lines, that's outrageous. You're getting cheated. I don't know.
That's sports betting for you, man.
Yep. No, that's cheating for me. And then I did want to just see how Matt felt about the commies losing 31.
Yeah, we were way too confident in that game.
Yeah.
They looked so good against the Broncos.
Matt kept convincing me that they weren't tanking, and then they go out there and lose to 9.
Matt was like, if they played like this every game, we'd make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You got 9.
Yeah, Matt, what the hell? Honestly, I think you're the reason we all picked them.
That's on you guys. Honestly, I'm a delusional fan trying to salvage any chance of joy with my football team. You guys are the boneheads tailing me. Like, if Drew, you're telling me the Giants are good, I'm still picking against them. They get whooped every week. You guys taking the Commanders, honestly, that's a little bit of recency
Vikings-
bias getting bandwagoned.
The
But
Vikings are just as
we
bad.
suck.
Though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Matt, let's not act like
Yeah.
you weren't playing the Minnesota
We suck.
Vikings.
I think the
we
Vikings are like
suck.
they got shut out last week, and then they just shut you out.
They
That's
lost by
never-
yeah, it was like 28-0 they lost last
Let's
week.
also not
did.
talk about it like Jaden Daniels has been out for 3 weeks, comes back, and then gets injured again. Like, the guy, as soon as he's starting to get reps and get his feel for the offense, he goes out and gets hurt again. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's not
I don't know why
exactly
you
the
don't
same
bench
thing.
him for the whole season. Just get
Yeah.
rid of
Because
him.
he's
for the
still a
rest of
young
the season.
quarterback. Like, you got to play your guys.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a football
he's a young
player.
quarterback. He
made
needs
out of
reps.
papier mache. Let's move.
Yeah.
But then also at
know.
the same time, it's like if getting knocked down one time is enough to take him out of the game,
Dude, he
should
got
really-
popped. He
No,
got
yeah,
popped.
but should he have really been in the first place? If like
No, you're not at
he
100.
got
if
rocked
one
good,
hits
yes,
takes you.
but
No, but honestly, anybody on that, when you get blown up like that, leave your feet and land directly on your elbow, whether you just dislocated or not, anybody might be having a problem with that.
that's
That
true.
might take him out of the game. And it might have been that maybe the injury wasn't bad enough where he could have played through if they're fighting for the playoffs. But since it was on the same elbow, they probably didn't want to take any risks. And realistically, there's no point in putting him out there before you get tests done versus benching him for the rest of the game and playing it safer. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. And the team could have played totally differently, like, throughout the whole course of the game. A lot of it, I think, is Jaden Daniels doesn't have any reps this year. Every time he gets his legs underneath him or his elbow back, he goes back down with injury, can never really get a flow with the offense. Like, and the defense is, golly, man, they're god awful too. You know, it's just injury ridden realistically throughout the whole course of the season. And honestly, it just stops a lot of momentum that you can get. And while I'll talk them up every single time because I have to believe that I have some hope for the future in some way, shape, or form, do I realistically trust them enough to bet on them every week? No. But I did. Lost my
Yeah.
parlay because of it.
Luckily, the Commanders have no experience putting injured quarterbacks out there. But yeah, let's
The
Lastly,
Commanders don't. You're right.
I think we gotta at least mention the Phillip Rivers signing and the whole Colts situation. I mean, I don't even know who they would even play at quarterback because they
Tyler
don't.
Warren, baby, he's the emergency. He played quarterback in high school and had some quarterback snaps at Penn State.
Like that's insane. He probably gives them a similar. I don't obviously he hasn't played in 5 years, but like I would say he gives them a relatively similar chance to win that Daniel Jones did. They just have a hard schedule.
No.
They got Seattle, San Francisco, the Jaguars, and the Texans.
You can't tell me 44-year-old Phillip Rivers is coming back 5 years out of the league and he's going to play the same as Daniel Jones. That's outrageous.
I don't believe that.
The last 3 weeks, Daniel
that
Jones
might
has
be the
been
worst
terrible.
take I've heard.
The last
Yeah,
5
he's
weeks,
playing on
Daniel
a
Jones has
broken
been
foot,
terrible.
Evan.
Yeah, he's been injured.
Okay, you would rather have Daniel Jones on a broken foot than
Probably,
Phillip
yeah.
Rivers?
Probably.
Yeah,
Until I get proven otherwise, yes.
Yeah, and that was like a 2-week thing. He probably was going to be fine by next week if he didn't go out and get injured again. I take Daniel Jones with one
They
leg
were at least
over Phillip.
competitive with Jones in, even though they were losing some
Yeah.
of those games.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to
Like-
see.
Like, obviously,
Something-
I would love for Phillip Rivers to go out there and win a Super Bowl. I would love that.
That's
Even
freaking
take him to the playoffs. That would be the greatest thing in the world. Like, I'm not going to root against it, but I can't say he's going to give them the same chances.
Better chance than Tyler Warren.
Well, is it
Yes.
confirmed he's starting
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
over
I mean,
Riley
I don't think
Leonard?
they really have a choice.
Riley Leonard's
Leonard's
hurt. That's the problem. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize.
But it's
That's
a
why
minor.
they did this.
I think it's like a hamstring.
Okay.
It's like week to week. He's not officially
Oh.
ruled out for this week, but they need to have a quarterback. Because Richardson,
I'll do that.
he screwed up his hand in warm-ups at the start of the year. He's like out.
No,
now.
Richardson's out with the orbital bone injury.
Yep.
I just Googled
Yeah,
it.
It was
Yeah,
there was
dude, he,
some
like-
weird locker room incident. I think they didn't
yeah. It
really
was during
say what it
warm-ups, like
was.
3 hours before the game.
Strange. Some
Soft
something
bench gone
else,
too far.
and then we could start with our stocks. Philip Rivers right now is 7th on the all-time passing list. I think if he gets around
What are we doing?
640 yards, he passes Big Ben.
Oh,
That's possible.
It's
he's
very
chasing.
possible.
He's
That's
chasing.
very possible.
If he plays every game,
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, he's going to have to play well these first couple games because once Leonard comes back from this injury, they're probably going to put him in unless Rivers has shown him something.
thing is, Rivers knows the offense and Shane Steichen, and it's like he has a lot of familiarity with it. So even if he hits some dinks and dumps to guys who can break yak, like he
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, but
He
Leonard
could move
They
the
have good
offense.
weapons. You also forget they have like a top 3 running back in football.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah, it's
doesn't
just-
have to
this
do
is-
that much.
This is unprecedented. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
my first thought is this guy has like 15 kids. Is like, are the Bills starting to rack up?
And one
Like,
grandkid.
why would he want to do it?
One
I don't
grandkid.
know.
Love of the game.
We'll get him on the pod and we'll dig into what's going through his
Yeah.
head next week.
Everybody make sure you tag Philip Rivers in the comments. Make sure we can try
His
to get him
oldest
on here.
daughter's our age. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Let's get her on too.
I think
Drew,
she's
make it
older.
happen.
I think
Yeah.
she's older than Riley Leonard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah.
very close. I did see that. Yeah, I
That's
think
crazy.
they're like months apart. But yeah, I had a couple more, but we don't need to talk about 'em. Let's move on to the stocks.
Yeah. Drew, would you like
We'll
to
cover
start
him in the
us?
stocks, probably. Honestly,
Yeah, that's my process here. Am I starting? Okay.
Yeah, you start us off.
Let me get it up. Okay. Tyler Shaw, stock up. Saints had a good win against the Bucks,
Shock.
division rivals. No, I think it's Shaw.
Yeah.
Shock.
No.
yep, Shuck.
Shuck off. Shut the shuck up, Drew.
I disagree.
What do you mean you
But whatever.
disagree? It's his name.
All right.
Sorry,
I-
Mario
You're gonna
Top.
tell him how to pronounce.
I thought it
his
was
own last
Shaw.
name?
I know. I'm pretty sure. Whatever. But stock
Watch the
up. He
games,
beat
big
division
boy.
rival Bucks, who are really just fighting for their lives in the playoffs against the Panthers now. That's a big win. And I'll just say, like, he's looking like a decent quarterback. Like, the Saints aren't a good roster. Like, they don't have a good roster around him. So the fact that he's keeping them competitive in a lot of these games and, like, even finding a way to beat a team that has a good chance of making the playoffs with Baker Mayfield, who was an MVP candidate at the start of the year, like, that's impressive. And a little side stock here, just rookie quarterbacks as a whole, like, stock's going up this year. I feel like around the draft and, like, even at the start of the year, everyone was talking this is a really weak quarterback class, and I kind of agreed. But, like, if you just look at it recently, like, Jackson Dart playing well. Tyler Shaw's better. Tyler Shaw is playing well. Cam Ward and Shadur, we just saw him. I saw signs from both of them last week in that game. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done for both of them, but, like, things are looking good. And then Riley Leonard, that one's a little weird because he got injured, obviously, and, like, he didn't have time prep for this game. But, like, he looked very calm in that situation, considering all that was going on. And I think that's a good sign. He was making some decent throws. Obviously, the stats weren't great. He threw one interception, but yeah. The only quarterback I'm not including on the side stock is Dylan Gabriel. That guy sucks. And then we're just waiting and see for Will Howard and Jalen Milroe, but I think they have potential to be like backups at least.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's my take.
let's not get into Shadur too quickly. Like
Oh, I'm
his
not
two,
saying Evan.
his two
Evan,
good games are against the Raiders and the Titans.
Evan, by no means, I'm not saying any of these guys are good quarterbacks right now. I'm just saying the stock's going up. They're looking better than I think anyone thought they would.
That's a
at
solid
this
side
point of the
stock.
year. Except Cam Ward, maybe. I feel like people had higher expectations for him, but he's still getting better throughout the year.
Yeah, because he was the #1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your second one? We're just gonna do them both.
Oh, back to back. God, I need some prep. Which one to pick? We'll go Colts stock down. Pretty simple. Don't make fun of me. But obviously, you can't really blame him for the injury to Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Them having bring in Philip Rivers just to like have multiple quarterbacks on the roster. But it just sucks. Like, I can't imagine being a Colts fan. They started out 8-1. I know they had an easy schedule to start off, but they're probably not going to make playoffs unless Philip Rivers is like Philip Rivers of 2016. it's so depressing. Jonathan Taylor left his body and soul on the line all year. Helped get
I
them
think
to an 8-1
he left
record.
it in
Now
Berlin.
they've
Anything
lost.
happens.
Have they won
Do
a
you
game
guys-
since Berlin?
No.
That's
you guys
crazy.
know-
They've lost 4 games in a row. It's just brutal.
Do you guys know Blue Eyed Seth? This is our Colts.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So since he went savage and said, "Let's break Rogers' back," they're like 1-4.
I heard
think.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they only beat the Falcons. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yep.
he had to issue an apology for that. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
that
was
a
too sad.
mistake. That was a mistake. Guys can't be
That's an
savage.
all-time apology.
Guys
Sorry, I
can't be
was too
savage
savage.
anymore.
Guys
I was just
can't
trying to be savage.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
Ever since we started this podcast, they're 1-4.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
If
Yeah.
you told me like a month ago they weren't going to make the playoffs, I would be shocked. But yeah,
Man,
that's
that would
it.
have been an awesome bet. That would have been so
That would have been
Wait, hold on.
great though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Drew.
Good job, Drew.
Anytime,
Who wants
boys.
to go next?
Anytime.
I'll go
I do it
next.
for you guys.
All right. First stock, I'm going the injury bug in the NFL. If you go stock up on more people getting injured, but stock down for the viewers of it, I think honestly, and I don't have stats on it, but I feel like so many guys are going down with non-contact injuries. Like we saw it again this week with Daniel Jones. Like guys are going down left and right. I also think, and again, none of this is really warranted. I didn't do research about this before I got on, but just watching the games, I feel like players are hitting low and we're getting a lot of lower body injuries. And I think that there's a lot of guys also getting non-contact stuff. And I don't know if any of this has to do with the fact that they don't play the same way in the off season, that guys take time off, if it has to do with just how the game speed is, everything like that. And it was always bound to happen like this. And for people hitting low, like Zach Ertz injury this weekend was like a big example. Guys have to go low because you're not allowed to hit high anymore. And I guess concussion rates have gone down, right, for hits to the head, and probably better for the long-term effective players. If you have to talk to an NFL player about how you want the rest of your life, and do you want it with a knee that's blown out and you just have to get surgery on it, even if it ends your career, but you can live a fine life, or do you want CTE? They'll probably take a season at a career-ending knee injury for the long-term effects of their life. But some of them who love the game, I don't know if they'd rather just get a concussion, be out 3 weeks, and then be able to come back kind of fine. But there are a lot less hits to the head.
Whoa.
But golly, man, there are a lot of hits to the knees. And there's a lot of knees getting bent and twisted and all that just kind of blown up. Tucker Kraft, same type of thing, where these guys are just hitting low. They have nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
I don't know.
That just made me think of Alex Smith's injury, and now I'm like cringing. But yeah,
When you
I
can't hit
agree.
guys high, I feel like what happens.
I'd be interested see some of the stats on that this year, but I do agree vibes wise, it does feel like there's been a lot.
Feels like a lot of non-contact injuries and a lot of sort of lower body blow-ups,
I will say I do feel like less running backs are getting injured, but that's about it. I feel like usually a ton of running backs get injured, but I can't really think of that many this year.
Alex
season
Eckler
running back injuries. That's
Alex Eckler's Achilles.
Austin.
James
Austin.
Conner, Austin
Just
Eckler.
said, yeah.
There's not a ton, but
But you also see a lot more
quarterbacks.
running back committees,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think
probably a big
perhaps
reason. That's a stock
Achilles
up for the
backs.
running back committee. Splitting the workload is big.
All the guys in Tampa Bay got hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but those aren't even season ending.
No, but I'm just saying, when we're talking about running back injuries and stuff like that. No, yeah, probably less season ending ones, or maybe they were just earlier in the season.
But I feel
I don't
like
know. That's
receivers
just
have been
yeah,
getting
that feels just like an interesting note.
Right.
Non-contacts, lower body hits add
Yeah.
up to injuries. My other stock is stock down on. I'm gonna go with Kevin Stefanski on his quarterback decision, but I don't know if it's the Browns' sort of front office in general. I don't know who's in charge of what quarterback's playing there. I'm gonna put the blame on Kevin Stefanski for how he's talked in the media about choosing his quarterback. He decided to play Joe Flacco, who was never going to be able to be a long-term solution at all when you had two quarterbacks that you drafted. Yeah, trotting out young quarterbacks at the beginning of the season is kind of a death wish for him, but at the same time, the way that it's been talked about, you can't really develop two young quarterbacks at the same time. So Shador hasn't gotten any first-team snaps until he's been named the starter. So realistically, what difference would it have made if he would have either started with Dylan Gabriel or Shador? And honestly, the real reason why his stock's down is because Shador's looked a lot better throughout the games that he's played than Dylan Gabriel. Whether or not all the results are different, the team sucks. They have no weapons. But if you just look at him, Shador definitely has a higher upside. Dylan Gabriel was never going to be more as maybe a serviceable backup. So trotting out Shador as your QB3 honestly seems like coaching malpractice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think he likes Shadur. Like,
I agree.
Why wasn't he in on the 2-point conversion at the end of the game?
Yeah.
That was
That's
There's some weird stuff.
you can't run the same play every time.
Yeah.
Like
people are saying like he was getting special treatment, but like I honestly think he got mistreated because of him
I
being
agree.
Deion.
I think there had to
Yeah.
have been some like divide in that organization on what quarterback to take, and they wound up going with
yeah.
both of them. And I think
Oh, yeah.
Stefanski's
They
on
definitely didn't want it.
the Dylan Gabriel side of things. I think he's kind of found himself a little bit on the hot seat. That was
Yeah.
gonna be my
Probably.
stock, but
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I think it just got to the point in the draft where it's like, okay, now we should just take him. Like, what, they got him in the 5th round? It's like, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but they took both of them in the 5th round. Like they still value Dylan Gabriel more.
yeah,
thought they
that's
took
the
Gabriel in the
unusual
3rd.
part of it.
No,
I
they were
think they
both
took
third.
Gabriel real early.
I don't think so.
They might have.
He was like
Fact
a
check
round
me.
earlier.
I
I
thought
think.
Gabriel was 3rd.
He was.
Oh wow, he was in the 3rd. Golly, that's one of the worst picks
Yeah,
in
that's
draft
what
history.
I'm saying. I think it just got to
That's
the point where it's
yeah.
like 5th round, Shadur's still there. Why not? They didn't want him, and I think it's because he was Deion's son. I don't think he got any special treatment in the NFL. I think he got
I
mistreated.
think I think people just see like how fans like him and think that he gets special treatment. I mean, honestly, even in college, like he was good enough to be the quarterback at Jackson State. He was then good enough to be the quarterback at Boulder.
Yeah. Shouldn't have
I
got his
don't think he's
jersey
ever
retired, but like besides that.
No, but that's because your dad's the head
Yeah.
coach. But that's like all the stuff off the field is when he gets like, treated better. On the field, I
Yeah.
feel like he earns his spot.
I'd welcome him with open arms if I was in the Browns franchise. Like, think of this guy has a big following. That's huge for your organization.
That's definitely why they drafted him.
Yeah.
All right, next stocks.
Pat.
All right, you took my Stefanski one, so I'm going to pivot to stock up Liam Cohen. The Jags are buzzing right now. They're currently in first place in the AFC South, and they're fixing to make some noise in the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence looks a lot better. He's throwing less silly picks, bonehead picks. And the addition of Jacoby Myers is looking really good right now. He's been a really good trade deadline addition for him. And then also kind of flip side, the Bucks have been in a bit of a free fall lately, and I think they're also missing Liam Cohen right now. It's been obviously they've had a couple years in a row now where their offensive coordinators get poached, but he's looking really good with the Jags. So stock up Liam Cohen. And then for my next stock, I'm going to go with I was trying to figure out how I wanted to phrase it. Stock up Mike McDaniel's job security, but side stock down for potential next Dolphins GM. Because he's won like 4 games in a row now. They're at 6 and 7. I
Yeah.
probably won
Good
enough.
place to be.
Probably won enough to, maybe keep his job in the next year. And he kind of looked really dead to
Really?
rights. I don't know. I could see them doing it, but also that's where stock down for the next Dolphins GM comes in. What I was saying was the next GM, it's like, I don't know, you kind of want to, if you're a new GM, you kind of want to hire your own coach, and now you're in a spot where you're probably going to be stuck with a not great quarterback on an expensive deal, at least for another year. And who knows what ownership does? Maybe they want to keep McDaniel around because he's, managed to make them into a respectable record. So I don't know if that's going to be the most appealing job for GM prospects coming out next year.
Yeah, but it's also, they've gotten wins against the Jets, Saints, Commanders, Falcons, and Jets, and their good win against the Bills.
Yeah,
But the Bills this year is a big win because
That's
they
a
don't
big one.
normally do that.
but
I don't
I
hate
did
McDaniel as a coach.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
that
say
was a
stock
lot
up Mike
better last few
McDaniel.
weeks.
I said stock up
No. As job security. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think winning these
Yeah.
games is going to convince them to let him keep his job.
I'm fine with McDaniels.
I think
Dude, I think
it would
Tua
be
is the biggest problem on that team.
it would be better for McDaniels to go somewhere else, maybe as like a offensive coordinator again, and then get another chance in like a year or two.
But honestly, for him, realistically, once you get a head coaching job, the best way to stay at the top is to prove that you're worth it at
Yeah.
the head coaching level, right? And to do it for him, if he were to go back to being an OC, it's really easy to get buried in the OC chart and people not view you as a good head coach if the last time you were a head coach you got fired, and people think it might be either skill or if it's something like cultural stuff. If you look at guys around the league, I mean, Brian Flores did a good job with the Dolphins, all things considered, and honestly made a pretty good decision with Tua not being the quarterback. And he got fired for keeping the team around 500 and then has now gone back to being a defensive coordinator. And whether it's by choice or lack of him being able to get the opportunity, he hasn't been able to get past being a DC again. And I don't know if
Well,
he's chosen not to
he
or
dropped down to a linebacker coach. He was the Steelers linebackers coach, and
it's a
then
big
got
drop.
the D coordinator job in Minnesota, and they have a good defense.
Yeah, and I
I
don't
think
think he did a bad
he might
job.
be one of the next in the next group. I think he might be talked about.
Some of
But
these
it's been
guys
a
are just
long
meant to
time
be
since he was the head
coordinators.
coach.
Like Steve Spagnuolo, meant to be a coordinator. You just got guys like that. Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. All right. I will close this out here. My first stock is those boys. Those
Dem boys.
those boys, not them boys. Ole Miss wide receivers, obviously. Those guys, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, stock up. Those guys thrive. I'm thinking of that, right? Like you guys think of those two together, like that
Oh
one
yeah.
picture where they're
Yeah,
all like
yeah.
jacked. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. For
When you
sure.
guys when you give those guys enough targets, they're going to come through. Like, let me find it real quick.
AJ Brown had some drops this week that I don't think he should have had.
Still, yeah,
No.
you-
I'm not like entirely disagreeing with you. I think they're both really good. I don't know though. This is a tough week to say AJ Brown's like.
I'm not
AJ
even
Brown's
just. I'm not good.
I was going to say AJ Brown's two drops. One, he was having his arm held. The two big ones, he had his arm held, and then it was like a hospital pass. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
are
but
the
the one
big
he was
ones.
having his arm held on, he didn't fight through it enough. And if he would have fought through it more, he would have gotten a PI, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's like that was like lack of effort, honestly. Because he literally, if he would have tried to rip his arm through, he would have either gotten it there. And honestly, maybe he lost the ball in the lights because it didn't seem like he was putting a good attempt on it for how close he was to it until it hit him in the hand. But he should have tried to get his other arm through. I don't know. I don't disagree with you. I think that's something from the games this weekend that I noticed. And I don't think it's a dig on your stock. I think it's just, a takeaway I had from the games is a couple bad drops from AJ Brown that could have changed that.
Yeah. Anyways, this season, when those guys have gotten 10 plus targets, they 5 out of 6 times they've gotten 100 yards. And a lot of receivers, when you give them 10 targets, are going to get that number. I just think, at least Steelers wise, when he's your only receiver, you really got. I think you got to give him those targets.
I don't get why the Steelers don't every week.
This is the
Yeah.
first week he's gotten 10 plus targets.
That's
It's
Well, it's
crazy.
crazy.
because they learned, hey, we can throw it down the field to this guy and he'll catch it every time. I can't believe it took them this long to
He
realize
hasn't,
it.
though. He
Yeah.
hasn't. He hasn't
Dude, but
caught the deep
honestly,
balls.
I haven't seen them throw to him in like one-on-one coverage down the field a lot recently.
Dude, he's a slant guy.
Yeah,
That's what I don't get.
He's a little bit of everything.
No, he's not. I don't think he's as great of a deep ball guy as his frame would make him out to me.
I'd
He's
take
really
him
not.
early in the season, they would throw the deep ball to like those contested catches to Calvin Austin, the like 5'9" guy.
Yeah, I don't think DK's a good. I think DK, what makes DK a great wide receiver, and I think he's a great wide receiver when he's doing it, is slants. Because he is so fast and big, you can't box him out enough. And
Yeah.
he's just going to catch it every time, and then you get him to get yak. Deep balls, I don't know how I feel about him as a guy. I don't know if his tracking's good
it
enough. I
worked.
don't think his hands are good enough.
It worked this week, and maybe it was like a scheme thing. Like they saw something in film that Pat's gone. They saw something in film that they were like, okay, like they're exposed here. We need to take advantage of this. But or the Ravens game planned like they haven't converted a ball over 20 air yards in the month of November. Like let's, which is a crazy stat, but let's like just hunker down in the box, try to stop the run, which they did, and the short pass game, which is what we typically always do. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'd
That's my
also
first
throw
one.
it downfield against Marlon Humphrey
Yeah.
this year.
No. It's more of a DK Metcalf one, but I did want to include AJ Brown in that just because
No, I don't think
since
it's wrong.
he's been begging for more
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong doing.
production,
He's been looking
been
up.
performing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Even
take
though
was
they've
kind of
lost
out
some
of left
points.
field for your stock.
Yeah. And my second one is more of like a fun, silly one, but it's
Let's get silly.
Jameis Winston's media career. Stock
Oh
up.
my God.
Him on Fox was so entertaining. He's just like his little goofball self. I
Like
think
goofball.
once he's done with football, he has a long-term deal in the studio, announcing or whatever he wants to
Yeah.
do. I think he has a long career
100%.
ahead of him.
So
No.
funny.
No stock up Russell Wilson media career. He was with CBS, wasn't he?
We
Yeah,
knew
I
that.
didn't see him at all.
I think I saw
Exactly.
one clip, but it's not memorable.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a joke.
I
Even
saw a
Jameis
bunch of
Winston's TikToks have been hilarious recently. He's on a generational run.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
is.
So
that's for sure.
that is what I got, and that will do it for our stocks segment. Yeah. So Matt, can you help me out with this one?
I got you.
Thank you very much. Let me share this up. We are coming back with Evan's award predictions. Yeah, I know we took a week off to try to shorten last week's show, but there were some changes this week that I wanted to address. But I'll try to speed through it as quick as I can.
Yeah, I think I got work in like 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
This is work true.
Yeah. The grind
So
doesn't
here we
stop.
go.
You don't
Can
get
you
the
guys-
paychecks from this, Drew?
I think you
Yep,
have work
we're
right
good.
now.
I
Awesome.
think I might have put in the wrong address.
Drew, maybe if you hit a parlay.
True. So we're gonna start with MVP.
That's Dak Prescott.
No. Yep. You heard it here first.
What could he be winning? That's Drake May, Evan.
Yes.
Good job,
So
Drew.
Drew, shut the F up, dude. This is why we're not going to go to sleep tonight.
Shut
No,
the
we're
shuck
going
up,
to sleep.
Drew.
We're going to sleep.
I think
Oh,
Drake
man.
May is still your MVP favorite. He didn't play this week, so you can't. I feel like I can't take him down, even though Stafford had himself a good week, and now Josh Allen's kind of creeping up there a little bit too. But like I said in our other show, that I think Josh Allen would have to win the division somehow for him to take MVP from Drake May. But that's just my opinion. So this is probably my biggest change up. I now have JSN projected to win Offensive Player of the Year over Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has had a few down weeks in a row, and that has clearly affected took away his MVP chances and now I think it's taken away his Offensive Player of the Year chances. JSN had another near 100-yard game. I think he had 2 touchdowns. He's having a generational season at wide receiver. And I think, say he gets 1,650 yards and like a few more touchdowns, I think he's got it in the bag. So JSN, Jonathan Taylor. Next, Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. He's got it locked up. But I changed my runner-up to Micah Parsons over Brian Burns. I think Micah Parsons has made a significantly bigger impact than Brian Burns has. They have similar amounts of sacks, but Micah Parsons is a little bit more dominant than I would say Brian Burns is. So he's the runner up there. Next, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I kept it the same with Tet and Jackson Dart. Egbuka has fallen off a cliff the last few weeks. He doesn't deserve to be up there. I could see maybe an argument for Judkins,
No.
maybe on there. Tyler Warren, he's kind of also fallen off recently. I think these are your 2 guys who are going to have the best chances. But if Dart wants to take it, he needs to have a few good games here at the end of the season. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I got Carson Schweschinger on the Browns. I don't really know too much about this guy, but I've seen he's been going off. He's been on my like weekly teams that I put out on Instagram a few times this year. And I had made the runner-up Nick Eamon-Worry on the Seahawks, the safety.
Yeah.
He's quickly become one of the best players on that defense, and that is why he is the runner-up. This stays the same, CMC Dak, but I do think Phillip Rivers has a shot if he gets playing time.
Don't
If he
lie
just
to me.
plays 1 week, he's not going to get it. But if he plays the rest of the season, I find it hard to not make him the guy. He's been out of the game for 5 years. Yeah. Coach of the Year, I still have Vrabel, and like what he's done with a team that won 3 games last year is very impressive. And then I got Ben Johnson after that. I know they lost, but still what he's been able to do with the Chicago Bears, I think, is quite impressive. And you can just get rid of the other 2, Matt. Yeah, so passing yards leader, I think, is going to be Dak. I think their offense is just like they need to have so many yards every single game to have a chance to win that he's probably going to take that home. The rushing yard leader is getting pretty close now. I think Taylor, Cook, and somebody else, I don't know if it's Achan or Bijan,
Gibbs.
is up there. Who?
Gibbs.
No, because Gibbs gets too many. Let me just look it up real quick.
Gibbs has
is
a lot of receiving yards.
Yeah. Last week he
That's
only
pretty-
had like
that's pretty
30-some rush
still
yards, I
upside, yeah.
think.
Yeah, and then he had like 70 plus
Right.
receiving.
Right.
yeah. Who is it?
Achan's already over 1,000.
Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor has 1356 and Cook has 1308. Nobody else is that close. I take it back. HN has 1126. But I think it could be tight with Cook and Taylor. It just kind of depends on where their offenses go the rest of the year. And then JSN has that locked up, and I think Pickens will be the runner-up, although I think Puka passed him this week. I think he's going to be more necessary to his team's success. I also think there's a chance the Rams might be able to bench their starters in the last week, maybe. That is Evan's Week 14 award predictions. Thank you very much.
Beautifully done.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Yeah, so just let's keep it going. Let's move right into Matt's
rolling.
lovely, beautiful, perfect mountain.
One of the best mountains.
I'm just curious what we got here, Matt, because these are always questionable.
Oh, thanks.
Never once been questionable.
Well, I always have the same issue with it, and you typically don't change it any of the weeks. So let's see what we got. And look at that. Well.
There it is.
New team. Bottom of the mountain. Houston
Haven't even
Texans.
started hiking yet.
So Thing is with the Texans, their defense is Super Bowl caliber. If their offense gets on a run, I think they have a chance, which is why I put them there. Their offense, I don't have a lot of faith in, but their defense is so dominant, and they do have a lot of good skill position players. So I think that they could easily, not easily, but they could have a like realistic chance at a Super Bowl. A lot of the teams this year, honestly, either have like they only have one good unit or they have one unit that outperforms the other besides the Rams and Seahawks, but even like the Seahawks, it depends on the week when you get Sam Darnold. So if we're talking about just straight up one unit and a mediocre unit, then I'd like the Texans based on how good their defense is. Packers, again, solid defense. We're in Toyotathon now. Their offense looks totally different. I don't know if
I
it's
think you've said that
Toyotathon.
4 times today.
Yeah, because it's a
Sponsor
big
us.
deal.
Sponsor
I-
us,
Look at
Toyota.
look
I
at
don't know what that is. Can you
you
explain
don't.
real quick?
All right.
What?
So Toyotathon. I don't have the stats on it, but every year in Toyotathon, Jordan Love is the best quarterback. If you look at his stats during Toyotathon, he's always the number one quarterback in every single stat and metric. If you look at it outside of that, he is not the number one quarterback. If you look at him like comparatively too, it's like two totally different players, which then like elevates where he is sort of when you look at all of his stats like in general.
I
Uh,
want to say it was
I
like
know I was doing
28 passing touchdowns to 3 interceptions before last week,
yeah, it's
which is
a
crazy.
lot. Honestly, I probably should have pulled up the stats on it, if I knew I was gonna explain Toyotathon to the viewers. I'll pull them up and get them ready for next week, just so everybody knows. But,
Perfect.
they
Thank you.
look really good. The Bills look like the Bills again. Defense making splash plays to change the game is kind of what they're known for. Being a solid unit, making 1 or 2 plays throughout the course of the game, whether that's a stop or a turnover, is all they really need when you got Josh Allen at the helm. Then next row, keeping it the same, Patriots, Seahawks. Um, Again, I think now though, as the season's moving on, I think all the teams are getting a little bit closer when it comes to what the teams are showing us while we're moving down the stretch. So I don't think there's as big of a gap in these tiers as there've been before. And honestly, while we keep moving on and see how realistically the Patriots actually play in these moments versus how much better they've been playing than the other teams throughout the course of the season, we might see some movement in the mountain. I think that's like the spot that I feel the least secure about, is honestly the second row in general, based on the fact that the Seahawks too might fold under pressure with Sam Darnold. But for right now, they haven't showed us any reason that they're gonna drop off, besides Sam Darnold collapsing. But even when he collapses, like we've talked about before, they were still within a field goal, which they had the opportunity to make against the Rams, which hit it for me. Number one, the Rams. Still at the top, haven't done anything to drop off. Their offense is insane. Their defense is really, really solid. Sean McVay is a fantastic coach. Everybody kind of thought this team should have blown it up once or twice over the last couple of years when you talk about Matt Stafford's age and debates around how long Sean McVay actually wants to coach for because he's already done it all. A lot of things going on with the team sort of in the offseason year in and year out. And when we get up there, Aaron Donald's retirement and in past years talks of retirement, but he actually did this year. They had a lot more young guys who were ready to step up, a lot more guys who filled gaps than people were expecting. Defense looks like a really solid unit. The addition of Devontae Adams means if you put Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua on the same side of the field, you cannot possibly put enough defenders over there to feel confident that you're going to stop it because normally they'll just put 3 over there to sort of overload it, and then one of them is going to get a one-on-one, which both of them are one-on-one destroyers. So honestly, I feel really good about them. Their running back duo too gets the job done. Blake Corum had a huge game this week. 12 carries for 128 yards. Scores in there as well. So feel good about them. Queries about the Mountain?
You know my query.
Go ahead.
I actually disagree with your query, Evan.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
you
Evan.
did last week. It's the Broncos. I still think they should be on here.
Who would you put them over?
Yeah.
Texans probably.
Why? The Texans have a better defense.
No, what? You've been talking about how good the Texans have been recently.
Yeah, I
Texans
like
have a
the
better
Texans.
defense than the Broncos.
Yeah. And
The Texans have
probably a
also
better offense. They're like
the
comparable.
Texans have also showed me that they have some questionable issues that obviously they've played great the last 5 weeks, which I understand that's why they're on your list, but they also have lost 5 games this year,
Yeah.
which means they can be exposed.
I think a lot of that has to do with it being earlier in the season, and now that we're going down the stretch and they're playing some, honestly, like the games they've played recently, in the last 3, they've had the Bills, the Colts, and the Chiefs, right? And say what you want about each one of those teams. They also in the last 5 weeks they played the Jags, Titans, Bills, Colts, Chiefs. All of those are, besides the Titans, disregard the Titans being in there. But the other 3 are really solid opponents on any given week, and the Texans they took care of business against all of them. They stifled all of their offenses. They made each one of them look like they were human. And when it comes to the game against the Jags, they stormed all the way back after being down in the 4th quarter with Davis Mills, right? And then the Bills and Chiefs, they made the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL look pedestrian.
Mahomes is not a
Shut
top
down.
2 quarterback in the NFL.
Get out of town.
Who?
Mahomes?
That's false. That's just wrong. That's just blatantly wrong.
What makes him a top 2 quarterback?
Do you not watch Patrick Mahomes?
I do, Chris.
He's
Dude,
probably my third.
if you're hitting guys in the hands, that's not on you, right? If you're hitting guys in the hands, if guys aren't in the right spots, that's not like you can't blame him for his position players not doing their job and Andy Reid not calling the best game script that he has in his career. Like that's not on Mahomes.
You're saying Patrick Mahomes is having a better season than Matthew Stafford?
No. You can't take my words and twist them and put different words in my mouth.
Okay.
I said Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL. That is strictly based on talent. That doesn't have to do with the fact that Patrick Mahomes' offensive line is garbage. His receivers drop the ball.
It's not this year?
What do you mean?
Are you talking about this year or?
I'm talking about as players.
Performance. He's just saying
I'm talking about
working.
talent. I'm talking about the best 2 most talented quarterbacks in the NFL are Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
There's an argument for Joe
every year.
Burrow over Patrick Mahomes, but
Yeah, you could say Lamar as well.
First of all, you can't say Lamar this year.
nah.
Well, you aren't talking about this year.
Okay. I don't think you can say Lamar. I don't think Lamar is more talented. I don't think Lamar is more talented, and I don't think Joe Burrow is more talented. Joe Burrow has way better weapons, and I don't think Lamar's passing game makes up for Mahomes' in the sense that Mahomes is a way better passer than Lamar. I think Lamar is a great passer. I think Mahomes is way better than other quarterbacks. Like realistically,
Yeah,
point blank.
I'm not gonna argue with the take because I feel like it's hard to like talk about Mahomes and like give him his credit when the Chiefs are having such a down year. But like obviously he is already like a top 3, top 5 quarterback of all time, probably. Like, yeah,
Top
not a bad
3
take.
is crazy, but yeah.
But is it?
I don't
Yeah.
think it. I don't
think
know
it
how
is at
crazy
all.
it is. I don't
He
know how
doesn't-
crazy it is.
And have the longevity still.
And he already has accomplished more than most quarterbacks
And a lot of
have
guys.
ever accomplished.
I don't know. We're getting off topic here, but I'll just leave it at I feel like I think you're just a Broncos hater. I understand the points you made, and I can understand why, which is why I want to just end it here. I understand, but I think they do deserve some flowers for what they've been able to do this season.
I think as the season progresses, it makes more sense why they're not on the list. They're playing bad teams tight, and the Texans are playing good teams.
It's a divisional game.
But okay, it's the Raiders, dude. I don't care how divisional it is. It's the Raiders.
Hey, the Raiders beat the Patriots this year.
They did.
That's true.
That's a good point. And the Patriots are still up on road 2.
If you're losing to the Raiders, or if you're keeping it close with the Raiders at this point in the season, or when they did on Thursday night, that's a problem.
The Bills
Patriots haven't lost.
The Bills got blown out by the Dolphins.
The Dolphins are looking like a good team since then.
The Dolphins have also
At this point in
played
the season, they don't look
like
dog water.
The Dolphins have played
otherwise.
3 of the worst teams in the league.
And they're showing them why they're them boys. But yeah,
Everybody's them boys.
I
All right.
don't even think the Broncos are 7. I'd put the 49ers above them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you would.
I definitely.
I honestly probably could come up
That's
with
a tease.
another handful of teams I'd put above the Broncos
All right.
in Super Bowl odds in my head.
So say the Broncos like win out here, they still won't be on your list.
Let me see who they have on their schedule. It
Well,
depends who they play.
Well, you also you don't know what's going to happen with these teams.
Well, Matt, let me ask you this. I mean, they're looking like they're probably going to be a top 2 seed in the AFC. Do you think?
All right.
If the
Broncos win out, they have the Packers, the Jags, the Chiefs, and the Chargers.
Oh,
If the Broncos win out, I will look at them as a totally different team because that's a lot of good teams to beat.
good thing
That's
they're not
4
gonna
tough
win out.
games. Yeah, I don't believe they're going to win out, but that's 4 tough teams to beat. And I would have seen something in those games that'll make me change my opinion on them. That's just how it goes. They haven't shown anything this year to me besides how they played the Chiefs that they should be up here.
They also beat the Texans. Let's not forget that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well,
the
Matt, let
month
me
of
ask you
November.
this. Right? The Broncos
And the
are.
Eagles when they were good.
You've got like 3 teams here, probably the way I'm looking at it. They're going to be wild cards. How much does that like play a factor? You know, like the home field playoff advantage. Is that factor in, or are you just looking at the teams?
Honestly, right? And this is just how it goes, I think, year in and year out. The best teams win, right? The better football teams win. It doesn't matter if you have home field advantage. It doesn't matter if you're going on the road. I
Yeah.
think it does in the close games. I think it does. I don't think the games with the Broncos are going to be like that, where that's the
Mile
difference
high.
maker. I see the problem with their quarterback play, their offense getting exposed being worse than the fact that they have home field advantage for
A
other teams coming
Broncos
in.
home playoff game is a big advantage, I will say. And I'm
So
not even a big
if-
home field guy.
No, but I'm
if-
saying when your team's worse, your team's worse.
you're
It doesn't
saying
matter if you're
eventually,
playing.
I was
like,
ju- I
you
was
may
just
get
wondering
one,
if
you may get
that was
1
a
or 2
factor at all.
wins. But like, you can catch up.
No, I'm thinking about that because if they have a bye week and they play at home, it's just less stuff that they have to do. But I think if the Texans, like, if we're looking at the Texans going up there, right, second round of the playoffs, Broncos off a bye, I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Yeah.
realistically,
I
I'm
don't
taking the
know.
Bills to go in there and win.
Before we move on, also, I just want to say, Evan, you're saying the Broncos beat the Texans. That was an 18-15 game with Davis Mills at quarterback.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
means
I don't
nothing.
think it
anymore.
was.
This is back to your head-to-head thing. It's like, let's get the full story.
I think they injured
Yeah, the
Stroud
full
that
story was
game.
that they won.
The whole story was
No, Stroud got injured that game.
no. I think Stroud
Stroud-
was injured before that.
Stroud had
No, Davis
10,
Mills was
10
undefeated
attempts.
as a
Davis
starter.
Mills had 30.
Boom.
That
There you
should
go.
borderline be
I don't know.
points for Broncos defense, shouldn't it?
Why?
knocking
You
out a
knocked the-
quarterback.
Yeah, you knock out the quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we can't
Like,
look
if-
at head when the
that
team's
that one
not
didn't land.
okay. They only
Say
won by
the-
3.
Then what's a good win?
That's not a good
Well,
win at all. Scoring
playing
3
against
points
the
against a
backup,
backup
and Woody
quarterback
Marks
who
wasn't
didn't even
playing.
get to game plan. Davis Mills is a good backup, but he got thrown into that game out of nowhere.
Yeah, okay. Say the Broncos go into the playoffs, they're the 2 seed, right? They get the Chargers at home.
They'll beat the Chargers.
They'll beat the Chargers, okay. Then who would they play? They would probably play the Jaguars or
Bills
the
maybe.
Texans.
They would.
I would
And
assume
at some point, they have to beat the Bills or the
Yeah.
Texans or the Patriots. And I don't
Right.
think they're winning any of those games, and that's why they're not on my list.
I could see him
Okay.
beating the Chargers and the Jags, but they're not beating the Texans, Bills, or Patriots.
I see.
They could beat the Patriots. They're not beating Texans or Bills, though.
I don't think they beat the Patriots.
Patriots
could.
are higher
I
on
could,
his
I could,
list.
I could
Yep.
see. No.
I don't know. Who do they play again?
Who, the Broncos?
Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City,
Greenville,
Los
yep.
Angeles.
Yeah, I think those games are the 4. That's so that's the hardest stretch of games they'll have all season, right? So to prove out, say that I'm wrong for grading them the way I am, if depending on how those games go, I think is kind of faulty logic based on the fact that they haven't proven anything to the effect of beating 4 teams like that back to back to back. And if they go and do it, my opinion on them will change.
Yeah. Okay.
They gotta win that.
We're beating a dead
I
horse
just-
here.
I don't know. I don't understand why the Chiefs win is a good win for the Texans, but not for the Broncos.
I think I said the Broncos' only good win this season is the Chiefs. That's their
Yeah.
only good win.
Yeah.
And I think the Texans have 4 good wins in the last 5 games.
Okay.
And the other one was a win. It just wasn't a good one because it was over the Titans.
Okay. We'll move on. As that'll always be a fun little talk that we will have every week until they're on the list. Pat, I think it's your time to shine.
All right. Time for the dog of the week. All right. No
You want to talk
parking
about
this
last
time.
week?
Yeah, not good. I think. All right. There we go. That's more like it.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, last week, I think I went with the Jets over the Dolphins. Yeah. So I had Jets over Dolphins. That one was over immediately. So, they can't all be winners, but well, there's one other I had, but they weren't my main one, so we won't count it.
I think you had the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. There's one I had that was a winner though.
You had
I can't remember
you
who it
had 'em.
was. Commanders I included, and that was bad.
You were looking at Bengals. You were looking at Commanders.
Bengals
you
was the
say
other one,
Steelers?
which Bengals was looking good for a while there. So not a great week for me last
Yeah,
week.
it
But,
wasn't it.
that's all. That all can
We'll
Texans-
change.
change that up this week.
You got the Texans. You were looking at the Texans.
Texans.
So you
I
got
think
one.
that was the main dog of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it
I
might
think
have
it
been,
was.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because it was the dog in the
Texans.
lock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Texans was a dog of the week, and that hit. So, yeah, I got the main
There you
one.
go.
So,
I think you had before.
yes, that's right. You're right. I'm getting my weeks mixed up.
Yeah.
But I'll just give you a little tease here of some honorable mentions. While technically not an underdog, New England Patriots are sitting at even money right now, so that's tempting. Chargers at Chiefs are plus 180. Tempting, but I don't know if I'm in love with it. Let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, that will about do it for my honorable mention. So for my main dog of the week, Sunday, 4:25 Eastern, Green Bay Packers at Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos underdogs. Book it, plus 116. I think it's crazy that they're even slight underdogs. Even slight underdogs at
Matt
home.
is
10-win
pissed.
team.
Matt's about to leave.
I know you're going to do the Toyota-thon thing, but frankly, I think Jordan Love has just played a lot of.
No, that's a good dog though.
Yeah.
That's value. That's value.
I think
That's
that's a
good
good
value.
dog.
An 11-win team being underdogs
Yeah.
at home.
You don't see it.
Yeah, but
You don't
they're
see
playing
that
a
every
top
week.
6 Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. So,
Not the playoffs yet.
Upsets. You never know.
the Bears came off.
Yeah,
That's
they're
dogs of
stopping
the
the
week.
playoffs.
The Bears have had a couple, or not the Bears, the Packers have had a couple of back-to-back huge games for them. NFC North wins. Last week especially was a pretty emotional game for them, I think, against big rivals. So I could see a little letdown happening here. I like the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, maybe they take some feet off the pedals there. I
I
like
can
it.
see him being sort of depleted after the last 2 weeks.
Right.
And it also has a lot less meaning this game than those.
Right.
So
I could see it. I could
can see
very
him
easily
being
see a
maybe even
letdown.
under game plan going into it.
It still has a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
If the Packers lose and the Bears win, the Bears have the division again, right? No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, but then they get him again the week after. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if
suppose.
I'm the Packers if this is the one that makes or breaks the season.
I got you. I like it, Pat.
Good
Pat's dog of the week.
dog.
All right. And one of our segments we have is
That's crazy.
Drew, let's hear
Yeah.
how last week went.
Welcome back to Drew's Lock of the Week. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. We're here, 5:32 in the morning. And I still got locks for you. Don't worry. Last week, we almost went 2-0. It was this close, boys and girls. This close. Let's start off with the bad news. We had Bears plus 6.5. The worst part is I wanted to move it to plus 7.5, but I was like, can't do alt bets on the lock of the week. That's just it's not the thing to do. You got to pick straight up. So I was like, you know what? It's probably fine. I knew the Bears are going to keep it close, but they lost by 7, lost that bet by 1 point. Tragic. And then my other one, trying to remember, my other one hit. It was Texans plus 3.5. I thought the Texans were going to win. I agreed with Patrick. I thought them being favored or being dogs by more than a field goal was crazy. So that was like the freest bet of my life. Close to going 2-0, but 1-1 is what it is. We take it. Still 2 units up since this segment has started. And now, welcome to this week's lock of the week. We got 2 this week. We got 2. We're going to start off with the biggest lock. And Matt's going to like this one. We got Giants minus 2.5 at home versus the Commies. They don't stand a chance. Matt, they're tanking. You can't tell me otherwise. You don't lose 31-0 and just come out and win the next game. They're done. They're done. Jackson Dart may not be on Evan's Rookie of the Year radar, but he's on mine. He is my Rookie of the Year, and that's all that
He was
matters. He's
second
going to
on
win
my
this game. He's going to win this
list.
game commandingly. The fact they're only favored by 2.5 is insane. I think 14.5 could be enticing. But yeah, Giants are going to win this game at home too. Come on. They don't even have a chance. Daniel Jones, or not Daniel, I don't know what I'm talking about. Jesus. Jaden Daniels doesn't even have an arm. So I don't know who you're going to trot out there. Mariota?
What do you mean you don't know who we're going to try out there?
I know who you're going to trot out there. That's why I'm betting this, man. That's why I'm betting it. Never even stood a chance. But let's move on to the second one. That's 1-0. And then this one, this one's tough. I was looking at the spread and the money line on this one, but the spread is 2.5, which I don't like. I don't want a repeat of last week because I like 3.5 or 7.5. I'm not a big fan of 2.5. So I think I'm gonna go. We're going a big lock of the week. We're kind of I'm treading on dog of the week territory here. I'm going Bengals money line against the Ravens at home. I gotta get odds on that. Give me a second. But I'm surprised you
Okay.
didn't talk about him, Pat.
Plus 124. I thought about it.
No, I thought you were saying something.
What? Yeah, I did.
I could have sworn Pat was talking. I was just waiting for the delay
But-
to come to.
No, plus one.
Yeah,
plus
I'm pulling up the
124.
odds right now. We got.
I thought about plus 124.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. So yeah,
I thought
Bengals
about
money
it.
line. Obviously, I would like to do an alt, but it's not holy. So we're gonna do Bengals money line, Giants minus 2.5 against the Commies. Sorry about that awkward silence. Pat really threw me off. It's my bad. Segment will be better next week.
Drew,
You, Riley?
I think you're given a lot of opportunities here for Matt's fade of the week.
What?
I personally would fade both of these.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm on, honestly.
Are
I
you
think
crazy?
this week we're fading them both.
I think you're dumb.
The official fade will be the Giants. I'll take the Commies plus 2.5.
You're crazy.
That's the official fade.
This
But
might
I think
be another
both fades. I think both fades can be in order. Yeah, honestly, I've just been picking the wrong fades recently. I've been getting too prideful, making decisions too quickly, not thinking about it, taking a beat.
The fade is looking bad.
Well,
I
if
was-
you faded every one, you'd be at the same odds that you're at.
I was talking to the producers before this, and they said we might have to get rid of that one.
Uh-oh.
If people faded the same way they tailed your locks, they'd be up the same amount of units. So I'm not really too worried about it.
You're giving them. You're literally throwing darts at a board here.
No,
you
gotta
couldn't
pivot.
water if you fell out of a boat with these fades.
Drew,
Well-
I think this like we can
Kevin, let's
fall
get
into
the
the same
graphic
trap.
off the screen.
All right.
No, never mind.
Will it kill you to say please?
I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, jeez.
Sorry.
I
just
think we're
refreshing every 10
falling
seconds.
into the same trap we did last week with the Commanders with this game. Like you would look at this and think, why is it so close? The Commanders just got blown out.
And this is where we get you.
And that's
I'm
where
not
they
worried
get
about
you.
it all. Giants have been playing competitive all year. They're going to win this game. This game means
They've
more.
also only won
Aren't the
twice.
Giants tanking too?
A
Yeah, you guys
division
are
rival.
2-11?
No, we're not taking this one. We don't want the number 1 overall pick. That's embarrassing for a team this good. We're gonna win a couple of these games coming down the stretch. We're playing like
This
the
good?
Commanders.
You're 2-11.
We're best 2-11 team in history, jackass. What are you talking
Anybody
about?
could be the best 2-11 team in
Talking
history
about?
if you fucking claim it.
Then do it. Then do it.
We're not 2-11.
Why
dick
haven't you
fuck.
done it?
We're
Yeah, and you
fucking
haven't done it.
3-10.
Best 2-11.
Oh my
Best
god.
2-8. Best 2-9. Best 2-10. Best 2-9. Catch me outside, bitch.
Get to 3 wins. Get to 3.
I will this
Week
week. I will
14.
this week, and I'll be holding the cash. I'll be coming around. I'll be driving by, windows down. Fucking, sorry, language. Coming out the window with this money. All the money I'm gonna be winning. I'm gonna put 2 units on it. I'm so confident. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
So if
Washington
you
God,
lose
plus
this, you're
116
gonna be
crossed
down
my
2
mind.
units.
You
then.
haven't watched the Giants play. If I lose, I'm gonna be
Ah.
down 2 units. What are you talking about?
If you're betting 2 units on this.
Yeah, but I'm only keeping track of the stats based on 1 unit bets because I also have bet 2 units on some of these I've hit. We're not talking about my portfolio. We're talking about the fans. But all I know is Matt. Matt's been, oh no,
Okay.
he's been on something.
Well, that was entertaining. That is our show. Thank you guys for watching very
7
much.
a.m. We made good time.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and stay tuned on the Instagram for more. And yeah, we are your
Never stood a chance.
We're out.
PFS team. We'll see you
Wow.
next week. Bye.
Wow.